it's time that we bring out our very first speaker of the night. She's the youngest speaker of the night at only 25 years of age. And up until a few days ago, she didn't even have a voice. But she has pushed through and she has an incredible, inspiring story to share with you tonight. Would you please put your hands together for the wonderful Chanel? There you go, beautiful. Go for it.
All right, let's do this. Picture this. You are on a family vacation at the beach when someone spots a whale in the distance. Everyone jumps around with excitement and watches on in awe, except for you, because you can't see what they see. But you don't want to be the odd one out, so you shove down that painful feeling of never being good enough. You pretend you see the whale and you join in on the fun. I got pretty good at pretending as a kid. Like the time I'd sit in the back row of the classroom, because that's what the cool kids would do. Anxiety ripping through my body, terrified the teacher might ask me a question when I couldn't even read the board. I would ask my friend to read what it said, but I'd get upset if she read too loudly because the other kids might hear. I would never speak of my condition out of fear people would think I was weird and abandon me. I saw myself as less than others because I had a disability. I was so different, so defective. These negative beliefs I developed about my disability formed the lens I would view myself and the world around me through until the age of 24, when everything changed. I've got 30% vision. Now you might be wondering, what does that mean exactly? Well, let me show you. This is what someone with 20/20 or 100% vision would see. And this is what I see. Same image, but very different perspectives. At the age of 4, I was diagnosed with a rare condition that still to this day remains a mystery. Tonight, I want to share with you the single most important lesson I have learned in my life. It was never my disability that held me back, it was my mindset about my disability that did. Growing up, every negative experience I would face, I took as evidence that something was wrong with me. I took it personally. I can't complete a task, I am defective. I can't see something, I am incapable. I remember this one time in year 5, I was a competitive swimmer. I was about to race when the teacher came over to the pool, pulled me out, got me to walk halfway down and jump back in there because it made the race fair. I was so embarrassed, I ran to the change rooms and I never competed again. I was shown that I was not as good as the other kids. I couldn't start from where they started. Later, at the age of 16, I received the devastating news that I would never be able to drive a car. All of my friends, everyone at school, even my younger sister would be able to achieve this milestone. But I would never be given the opportunity. Sorry. Again, my negative beliefs being proven right. You are a failure on repeat in my mind. Over time, I started to believe that I couldn't achieve anything on my own with these negative beliefs circling my brain. Not being able to read price tags, labels, menus, or even locate restrooms meant that I believed I couldn't socialise with friends, I couldn't go shopping or go and eat in a cafe. I developed such fierce anxiety and I became very isolated, and this led to some serious relationship breakdowns. Having 30% vision meant that I relied heavily on others for their support. I saw them as a lifeline and I needed them to survive. So when these relationships broke down, I lost this lifeline and I hit rock bottom. Something needed to change urgently. I booked myself into therapy. I started exercising daily and I actually began listening to podcasts about the brain. I discovered that our negative beliefs develop during our childhood. So my negative beliefs were developed when I was at the age of 5 and they were still controlling my life at 24. But these negative beliefs can be challenged and changed. I also discovered that there is a part of our brain that the more we challenge ourselves when we face adversity or some barriers on our path, the more we actually challenge ourselves and get through them, the more this actually grows and we develop this willpower that pushes us forward, and we actually begin to believe that we can overcome lots of adversity. Knowing this information, I decided it was time to change my life. About a month later, I found myself travelling to New Zealand for a solo ski season where I would live independently for the next 3 months. New Zealand changed my life. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone every single day when I was there. I showed myself that I could do the things that I thought were impossible for me with my vision. I navigated a new town. I took myself grocery shopping. I cooked. I went out to dinners alone. I made friends. I even went on dates. I taught myself how to snowboard. What a sight this would have been for the people of Queenstown. But I proved to myself that it was never my disability that stopped me, because my condition remains the same. It was my mindset that changed. I showed myself that I am not defective, I am good enough, and I am capable. Don't get me wrong, this was the hardest thing that I've ever done. Every single day I had to talk to myself during every activity, while riding the bus, shopping, strapping into my snowboard, saying, "You have got this, you are so damn capable." But through that self-talk, I developed a lot of self-trust and acceptance. Knowing that I only had myself there to rely on was all I really needed to know that I was enough all along. I just had to be enough for myself. New Zealand honestly changed my life forever. Now, this trip was about 1 year ago now. Landing from my second New Zealand trip just yesterday, again solo, I stand up here today in front of you all, the most confident, carefree, fearless version of myself. Once upon a time, I would never speak of my condition. Now, I stand up here in front of you all today, sharing my story through a microphone on a stage. New Zealand taught me 3 very valuable lessons. 1, my disability never stopped me. My mindset about my disability did. 2, I may not drive, but I am always in the driver's seat of my life. We all face adversity in one way or another, but it's what we do with it that proves our way forward. We either let it beat us or we fight back. And number 3, challenge yourself. To challenge yourself means you push yourself through the adversity. That part of your brain will grow, and one day you will start achieving things you thought were impossible for you. Now, I have a question. What labels do you let define what you can and can't do? Is it your age, your gender, your education level? I can almost guarantee that the labels that you define yourself by aren't what holds you back, but it's the story you attach to what the labels mean about you that does. I will leave you with this. Every day, when you wake up, I want you to set yourself a challenge. I want you to push yourself out of that comfort zone. It could be small, like getting a coffee on your own or talking to the person behind you in Woolworths. You will experience firsthand just how capable you are. Again, pushing yourself bit by bit will grow this part of your brain, and you will never look back. Trust me, your world will change just like mine did. Thank you.